Well, turning to the debate over gun control, two gun bills are on track to merge together in the Oregon legislature. Now, each bill targets a different approach to gun safety.
The two bills are Senate Bill 554 and House Bill 2510. Here's what each kind of breaks down. Senate Bill 554 will allow local governments to ban holders of concealed weapons permits from bringing guns into public buildings. The bill has already been approved in the Senate, and it's now in the House.
But House Democrats want to rewrite this bill to include elements of a different measure, House Bill 2510, which would require gun owners to secure their weapons when not in use, whether it's by putting them in a locked container or gun room or by using a trigger lock. Now, those who don't would be held responsible for any injuries or property damage. The bill has been delayed by House Democrats since April 5th.
So the combined bills would look identical to the separate bills, but with one exception. Instead of banning anyone with a concealed handgun license in any government building, it would be limited to schools, colleges, universities, and the state capitol.
And we wanted to get more insight on the merger of these two bills. We are talking with lawmakers from both sides of the aisle today. Joining us live first is State Senator Ginny Burdick, a Democrat from District 18 in Portland, who is a chief sponsor of both bills. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for being here. So you oppose combining the two bills. Why is that?
Oh, no, I very much favor combining the two bills. These are both excellent bills. I'm a chief sponsor of each of them, and both of them would do an important job of keeping Oregonians safer from gun violence, especially Oregon children.
I think this has been a conversation. We see it come up nationally, and then we always wonder, will there be action taken? Do you think there is the momentum and really the impetus this time to get this done?
Yes, there is a lot of passion around this issue. I have a lot of allies in both the House and Senate, people who are very committed and very knowledgeable about what the bills do. And we fully intend to get this bill across the finish line.
Okay. Well, yeah, and I apologize for my misspeaking there. I think our questions were mixed up with our interviews. So how can the public get involved with this effort?
Well, we've had extensive public hearings, and for the last 2 days, the hearings have been in the House Rules Committee. And I believe they'll be hearing more witnesses today. I'm not sure of that. They do have a work session scheduled for today. But there has been a lot of opportunity for public involvement. And of course, there's always emailing your legislators to tell them you support the bill. And so we have a lot of avenues for public involvement.
So beyond this legislation that again is focused on the safe storage of guns and where you may not be able to bring them, is there any other gun legislation that you or fellow Democrats are considering? Is there more that can be done here at the state level?
Oh, there's much more that can be done, but for the moment, we're halfway through the session, and these are the two bills that we're focusing on, and hopefully we'll get them combined in a good, strong form, because we have an epidemic of gun violence in Oregon and around the country. And over 50,000 Oregon children live in houses with loaded guns that are unsafely stored. And we really need to deal with this. And we also need to give school districts, especially, the opportunity to ban people with concealed handgun licenses from bringing guns to school events, to classrooms, to soccer games. That's just a matter of public safety to protect our children.
All right. Well, State Senator Ginny Burdick, thank you so much for your time this morning and for joining us.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
All right. We want to turn now to get some insight from the Republican side of the discussion.
Joining us live is State Representative Lily Morgan from District 3 in Grants Pass. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So let me ask you, what is your current position on combining these two bills, or individually what you think about each of them?
The combining of the bills is not the concern. The concern is that Senate Bill 554, which is the combined version, will not reduce violence or fix the ongoing mental health crisis among our children. It is, in fact, trying to hold law-abiding citizens and make them criminals with CHL holders, and it is putting a liability on gun owners when their guns are stolen and potentially used in another crime, and removing a reasonableness factor of them trying to hold things safe. I absolutely support keeping guns out of the hands of children that should not have them and out of the hands of people that are not supposed to have them. However, Senate Bill 554 will not reduce violence or fix this problem.
Well, being in the minority in the Oregon legislature, Republicans only have so much power. So what options do you have moving forward?
We will continue to try to bring the story from our homes to the table. We'll try to continue to offer reasonable solutions to address what's really going on, which is the mental health crisis of our kids across the country and in our state. Through the COVID closures, we have found such an increase in the mental health crisis that our kids are facing. We need to find ways to come alongside them and address what's really going on. But taking away the ability for people to protect themselves in their homes or on their person is not the answer. My community does not have adequate law enforcement. Response can be up to an hour in an emergency with people coming as far away as the other side of the county. People have learned they have to depend on themselves and they have to do what they have to do to be safe. And it's not the same as you deal with in the Portland area where you have law enforcement response within 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's certainly one of the challenges in trying to legislate for an entire state is to address the needs of different communities. Is there anything specifically that Republicans have brought to Democrats and said, let's do this instead? Some bipartisan compromise here?
There is a lot of ideas that we have brought to the table to talk about. However, none of them have been addressed. And so again, I want to be clear that we're not opposed to keeping children safe. We are opposed to making law-abiding citizens criminals and penalizing victims of theft. We want to have a real discussion about how do we really help our children be safe and address the mental health crisis that they are approaching. Let's open our schools back up. Let's get the support to our kids that they need for full-time school and activities they need. Let's come around our behavioral health services and support that as necessary.
And how are you encouraging people in your area and your district to get involved in this process?
I've encouraged people to try to take part in interviews, to speak up where they can, to talk to their school boards, to talk to their kids about what they're experiencing during this time. I think connection with other people is the key at this time, as far as when people are struggling with what's going on, is how do we make sure they're connected to the right services and the right support systems. As far as the legislature, email, call, get involved the best you can.
All right, State Representative Lily Morgan, thanks so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
All right, it is a topic that we could continue